Hello everyone, Tyron Ash of Tyron Ash Real Estate here, and I'm really pleased to be here with Andrew Holgate of Holgate Homes, who's recently partnered with Tyron Ash Real Estate. So welcome Andrew, how are you?
It's been a brilliant day and obviously been a very, very successful partnership so far, I believe.
No, we've seen some amazing results. So I guess this is a great opportunity for us just to kind of speak a little bit about kind of the business you've been doing, how everything's been coinciding. Obviously we know you're successful in the property game anyway. So it was great to have you kind of join the business and go into partnership with myself. So yeah, just talk us through how it's all been starting for you and what's been going on.
Yeah, I mean, obviously before starting the business, obviously I was on social media, I was doing a lot of investments, I was doing a lot of developments, a little rent to rents. But obviously what really caught me in the eye was the social media presence of Tyron Ash Real Estate. You can really see they're dominating that space. It's been an untouched market. And obviously getting to know the business, working alongside Ty and some of the agents in the business, I really thought how proactive we were. I was really, really impressed with how much of a unit they are working together. And I thought, listen, I need to know what are they doing so well that I could be potentially leveling up in my property business. So
absolutely, I think it kind of complements your business nicely, because now, as you can see, Andrew's been taking on some phenomenal luxury properties. We've seen some beautiful properties that have been brought to the market. He's been negotiating a lot of sales. And for us, it's been a fantastic partnership that's kind of got underway. I mean, I'd say definitely from a social media perspective and the way our agents are kind of laid out, we definitely are a unit that kind of grows together. The network within the agents are all working together to get deals done. There's a number of real estate companies where they have different agents or an agent count within the business, but really how many of them are connected with each other and are actually doing business together, that's what we really pride ourselves on. And I think you've already got some amazing kind of partnerships and things going within the business where you're sort of helping each other sell properties and finding each other buyers. And I think that's been a big benefit, which I can see has happened quite early. How do you think you see kind of the next, 2021 going for you with Holgate Homes at Tyron Ash?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, one of the main reasons why I joined the business was how attracted I was towards the luxury end of the market. Understanding that, yourself being a real estate expert, has been in this game for a number of years, I thought that I'm always going to be a student of life and obviously learning. For somebody like a mentor like Ty, yourself, Tyron Ash himself, can help me accelerate that knowledge and obviously that kind of exposure network where I believe in the luxury end of the market, in the property kind of field, I think it's just, you can accelerate your business so much more. Absolutely. Working alongside a good support network. And obviously in the luxury end, I think we discussed this off the camera, how it's much more rewarding working in the luxury end market. So I believe with your knowledge, with the team background and support and network, selling luxury property with Tyron Ash Real Estate is the most proactive and forward-thinking business right now here in 2021.
Absolutely. I think one of the things that we've really kind of prided ourselves on is the fact that we are not trying to kind of fit in with the industry. I feel like for us, we are a luxury agency. We deal with high-end properties, we deal with high net worth clients, we deal with high profile buyers. We have the properties that attract these buyers into the market. So when it comes to things like maximizing social media, maximizing the network of agents that are kind of working together, or even just kind of things like engaging within the network of agents to help each other sell luxury properties or to drive high net worth buyers into other people's luxury properties. It's so fluid and it works because we are all out to do the same thing, and that is to get properties sold and get owners the best possible price for their luxury properties. And I think, with the start you've made, it's been absolutely amazing. For me, I think, there's big plans for your growth within the business. And I think one of the things that we kind of pride ourselves on is that we're not just looking for people who want to just join and just sell a few houses. What we're looking for is people who actually want to grow big businesses. We want millionaires built within this business, and I know that's certainly what you've got planned for yourself. So we're glad to be kind of working in conjunction with your other property, the areas that you operate in, to complement that. So you know, what kind of areas have you been focusing on from a geographical perspective? You know, what types of properties do you think, you know, you've started seeing come to market?
I mean, very recently I've been hitting the Cambridge market, to be honest with you.
Yeah, brilliant.
Obviously there's a lot of high net worth individuals there. It's a very well, you know, area. And I think with Tyron Ash, we're growing real estate company all over the UK. And I think Cambridge for Tyron Ash Real Estate is an untapped market.
Brilliant.
But the luxury end, like recently I got a £2.5 million barn. I've been speaking to the owner.
Amazing.
He's a developer himself, but obviously being a developer investing on my own before joining Tyron Ash, I know how to speak to developers.
Absolutely.
I know how to speak to these other investment property entrepreneurs.
Yes,
so obviously having that kind of knowledge helps complement the Tyron Ash Real Estate kind of branding behind it.
Absolutely.
And so I believe, you know, whatever knowledge you're doing, utilize it. Like, don't be shy to use what you already know.
Yes.
And obviously with your guidance, you're just going to help redirect people, because you're not.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's honestly, I don't know what you find in the business, but I don't believe you have to hold everybody's hand. I think to be part of this business, you have to be proactive. You need to be self-accountable for all your actions. I mean,
100%.
What I'd love to ask, you know, as a little piece of advice, like, what are the top 3 tips you'd give to anybody joining the Tyron Ash Real Estate?
Yeah, that's a great question. And actually, one of the things that we've kind of really started addressing, especially within kind of, you know, some of the recruitment webinars and interviews we've been doing, is that everybody watches $1 million listing, selling sunset, and they think, oh, that looks nice. I can walk around a £4 or £5 million house, show them the balcony, and they buy it, and I earn, you know, £100,000 commission or whatever it might be. Well, actually, that is literally 1% of the job, and the other 99% of the job is attitude, commitment, self-development, learning, implementation. These are all things that if you don't nail them down and put 110% velocity and effort into, you won't be successful, and you won't even get the chance to be showing that high net worth person around that multi-million pound house. So in answer to your question, the top 3 tips, you've got to be extremely entrepreneurial. You've got to want to run your own business. You've got to want to have absolutely no ceiling on what you can earn in a month. Number 2, you've got to be really, really into self-development. And that means you've got to be constantly learning. I know you mentioned that every day is like studying for you, is like a student of the industry, you said, I think that's exactly what this is. So that means learning from people like myself, learning from other people within the business who are sharing best practices, repeating things so often that it becomes a second nature for you. I've watched training videos, I've watched my own training, I've watched other people's training over and over and over again, to the point where I don't even have to recite it. It's in my head. I know what I'm talking about. I get it done. So having that self-development side of things is the tip number 2. You have to be prepared to self-develop. And number 3, I'd probably say, and this is the all-important kind of clincher, is you've got to be a brave person. A brave person. Because, and that doesn't mean, I don't mean brave as in go and do something stupid. I just mean brave as in you have to take massive action. You've got to get up in the morning and think nothing in this world is going to stop me getting my goals hit, and I will be rewarded for that later on. And the thing is that takes a brave, relentless person to want to implement that. And those 3 areas, when you combine them, and then you implement what you learn, you implement them with your attitude, you implement with how entrepreneurial you are, combine that with your personal branding, your social media, all the other areas that we teach, train and mentor, the sky is the limit on what you can build. And that is the thing. And I think that's probably the best answer to the question,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, no, obviously for myself, I think the first couple of weeks within partnering with you, I've already gotten at least £4 million worth of listings.
Amazing.
But I'd love to know, I think the people watching would love to know, is kind of where we are now in the first quarter of 2021, and what's kind of the whole goal by the end of, by the end of the year. Because obviously I'm trying to take my action, but I think as a unit, I'd love to know what's kind of your end goal by the end of 2021.
I think it's a great question. I think for me, we are extremely ambitious. We are looking for, yes, we want to increase in agent count, but that is not at any cost. We do not tolerate people who are not committed to business. We're not or committed to what needs to be achieved. So as much as we want to increase in agents, that will happen in a very, very gradual motion. I think the main goals are that we have financial levels that we want to hit. I believe that personally, this business can be £1 million a month plus by the end of the year. I think that the main goal for me and the long-term objective, you know, is that I want, like I said earlier, I want millionaires created within the business. That is the key thing, is that the sign of success isn't going to be how much money I make. The sign of success is watching all these agents hitting huge numbers, building businesses, changing their lives, changing their families' lives. That for me is the rewarding process, and it's started to happen. It's happening now. We're only just over a year old, and the numbers we're putting in and the results that, you know, that our partner agents are getting is absolutely phenomenal. So it's hard to put numbers on it, but because I'm the same, I have no ceiling with what I think this can do, but the millionaires need to be created within the business.
Brilliant. I mean, obviously, I'm quite newly to the business, newly partner of the business. I'd love to know, if you're in my position, what's the, you know, obviously to end the video, what's the one advice you give to me, even though I've been in property for quite some time, because you have knowledge I potentially don't. What's the one key knowledge you think that I can implement, or any agent joining the business can implement right away? Yeah,
I think the main thing is you need to plan, you need to strategize, and you need to implement. So when you're trying to grow a luxury property business, you need to know exactly where your stock and your property for sale is going to come from, and then you need to target those areas, and then you need to be meeting as many of those property owners as possible with face-to-face meetings to explain our very, very unique strategy, which guarantees to get them the highest possible price for their luxury property. And then once that's done and you replicate that, if somebody's doing that with one person and then hoping that one person converts to a listing, which converts to a sale, which obviously exchanges contracts, it's a very difficult thing to do. You have to have multiple opportunities going through. So the big advice for anyone new is take absolutely enormous action. You know, you need to be speaking to as many of these property owners, getting them onto the market with yourself, showing them the better option in comparison to a normal high street agent, getting them the result. And then what happens is, as those results start coming in, the sales are created, the exchanges of contracts happen, the keys are handed over, referrals happen, sold boards go up, and your business grows exponentially. And that's what we really work with you closely to do.
It's brilliant. Well, again, thank you so much for the time spending with us, having a good day. And obviously, my name is Andrew Holgate.
Tyron Ash, and we will look forward to speaking to you soon.